Welcome to the program Global Weekly News, serial number 60. First, we see McCarthyism. McCarthy was elected as US Senator in 1946. In 1950, he said that 57 communists were there in the US Department. After many investigations, this was not proved. US ruling classes could not digest USSR and the emergence of a communist republic in 1849 in China. In the name of McCarthyism, false allegations were raised against left intellectuals and progressive media persons. False allegations were said about NewsClick, Indian media, whose editor is Prabir Purkayastha. NewsClick gives pro-Chinese news, it was alleged. New York Times reported that US war on Iraq was illegal. That famous New York Times reported the Tricontinental Institute, whose director is veteran journalist Vijay Prasad, received money from Neville Rai Singham, a US billionaire, for propagating pro-Chinese news. This is a false allegation. Government of India's Information and Broadcasting Minister said that New York Times reported false news on Kashmir. New York Times reported that NewsClick received money from Neville Rai Singham. Press Club of India, Indian Women Press Corps, Delhi Union of Journalists and Press Association have condemned Modi government's victimizing measures against NewsClick. NewsClick has been criticizing many anti-people measures of the Modi government. NewsClick criticized Modi government for bringing amendments to Forest and Minerals Acts to hand them over to MNCs. As per the order of the Supreme Court, Rahul Gandhi could re-enter Indian Parliament as a MP. BJP MP Dubey alleged Congress leaders including Rahul Gandhi, NewsClick media have received money from China to create anti-India atmosphere. Information Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur alleged that Congress, China, NewsClick are having umbilical cord relations. This is a total concocted story, re-emergence of McCarthyism. Comrades and friends, we go to see what is happening in Ecuador. Last week I reported that 485 prisoners were killed in prison riots in Ecuador, South American country. President Guillermo Lasso dissolved the parliament and declared election for president on 20th August. Former Ecuador parliament member and a presidential candidate, Fernando Villavicencio, was shot dead by unidentified armed men on 9th August when he was coming out of a public meeting in a high school. Though he was taken to a hospital, he died. Some of those who accompanied Fernando were injured. Fernando is a 59-year-old politician. As per opinion polls, Fernando's position in the presidential race is between 4th and 5th position. Fernando complained to the Attorney General on 2nd August itself about threats to his life. Threats came from national and international drug traffickers. In the recent months, the economic, social and security crisis has deepened in Ecuador. Violent incidents have also increased. During the election campaign itself, mayor of one of the largest cities was killed. On 17th July, candidate for MP was also killed. Luisa Gonzalez, progressive candidate of Citizens Revolutionary Movement Party, said that her party has no role in killing of Fernando. During the last 2 years, many times national emergency was declared. After Fernando's death, the rightist forces are demanding strengthening of police and military forces. Comrades, we got to see what is happening in African country Niger. Last week also we reported on Niger. Mohamed Bazoum, president of Niger, an African country in the Sahel region, was removed from power in a coup on 26th July. Niger is in the second place in supply of uranium to European Union. Western countries and ECOWAS The Economic Community of West African Nations have imposed sanctions on Niger. There is a threat of war on Niger by regional and international forces. Bolo Tinubu, President of Nigeria, is the chairman of ECOWAS. ECOWAS issued an ultimatum of 6th August by which Mohamed Bazoum shall be reinstated as president. Niger's 70% power supply is from Nigeria. Now, due to economic sanctions, Nigeria has stopped the supply of power to Niger. Central Bank of West African States has stopped $5.1 crore aid to Niger. World Bank also stopped aid to Niger. Chiani, military ruler of Niger, said that he will not be afraid of any threats. Sanctions are illegal and inhumanitarian act, he said. Mali, Burkina Faso, neighboring countries declared that they will come to the support of Niger if it is attacked. France, Italy, Germany are asking its citizens in Niger to leave Niger. US also has asked some of its embassy staff to leave Niger. ECOWAS second summit took place on 10th August. ECOWAS asked all its 15 members to keep their forces in standby position to launch military intervention in Niger. People's Movements Left Forces of West Africa opposed the war on Niger. On 6th August, 30,000 people rallied in the capital of Niger in support of the military rule. Anti-imperialist, especially anti-French sentiment is prevailing all over Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger. Imperialist military interventions, economic policies, imposition of franc as Niger's currency, exploitation of uranium, gold reserves of Niger, etc. have made the people to come to the streets and protest. Fourth, we go to see what is happening in Sudan. Sudan is in the region of Horn of Africa. From 15th April onwards, internal war is going on between Sudanese armed forces, SAF, and paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. SAF and RSF, civil war. Due to 5-month-old internal war, thousands have died. 40 lakh people are displaced. More than 2 crore people are on hunger. The corpses, the dead bodies of thousands of people are lying in the streets. Health system is under total collapse. Due to long power cuts, dead bodies in mortuaries are getting decomposed. Cholera will break out any time. Local resistance committees are protesting for democracy. They dig graves for burying the dead bodies. Only 18 hospitals out of 89 main hospitals are functioning partially. 24 medics were killed in army hospitals. Patients undergoing dialysis are dying one by one. Pregnant women are dying in their homes during delivery of child. Between 15th May and 17th July, 300 children below 5 years of age have died due to measles and malnutrition. As per United Nations World Food Project, 42% people in Sudan face acute chronic hunger. 884,000 Sudanese people have fled away to other African states, Chad, Central African Republic, Egypt, Ethiopia and South Sudan, as refugees seeking asylum. Cautioning the youth against falling prey to the attempts by both the sides to step up recruitment, the Sudanese Communist Party, which had played a crucial role in 2019 December Revolution, warned of the risk of a full-fledged civil war that will spare no one. This war will also destroy the land and wildlife, sparing neither camels nor cattle, said in its statement. The Sudanese Communist Party statement further said, there is a war, this is a war that holds no benefit for the people of Sudan. It is a war between the wealthy elite of the regime regime and those who seek to inherit their power, including the new parasites and agents of foreign capital, hungry for resources, lands and ports of Sudan. Comrades, now we go to South America, where in Mexico, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, AMLO, is the president of Mexico. Under his rule, poverty has declined. Many welfare measures are implemented. He is a left president. On 10th August, the Mexican National Council for the Evaluation of Social Development Policy released a report revealing that from 2018 to 22, the poverty rate declined from 49.9% of the population below the poverty line to 43.5%. AMLO's administration has more than doubled the country's minimum wage since taking office, from an equivalent of $4.5 in 2018 to $12 today. Unemployment levels have reached historic lows, very low unemployment. Welfare programs for the people of Mexico have expanded with AMLO's introduction of supplementary pension payments for the elderly and scholarship and apprenticeships programs for young people. Currently, at least 30 crore households directly benefit from a welfare program, and the remaining 50 lakh people, households that live in better conditions have also benefited because the economic policy has improved the purchasing power of the families and strengthened the domestic market. Next, we see what is happening in Germany. Germany's National Wage Commission recommended raising the statutory minimum wage in the country from 12 euros per hour to 12.41 euros for 2024 and 12.82 euros for 2025. 1 euro is equal to 91 rupees. Trade union representatives in the commission deemed the hike inadequate and stated that it would lead to a fall in real wages in the backdrop of ongoing inflation. Germany and other countries across Europe have been undergoing a period of crisis marked by degrowth, high inflation and energy crisis, skyrocketing food prices and high rent for houses. Germany continues to finance and assist the war in Ukraine. Peace groups in Germany have been carrying out protests against warmongering of Germany. 60 lakh minimum wage workers will suffer a huge loss of real wages as per German Trade Union Confederation statement. Comrades, in Palestine, hundreds of Palestinians are in Israeli jails. Palestinian prisoners are protesting against their ill treatment and demanding their immediate release. During the last 2 weeks, 14 Palestinian prisoners are on hunger strike, indefinite hunger strike. Hundreds of Palestinian prisoners are in prisons without any charge sheet or any trial. Israel government does not bother about condemnations by international human rights agencies. Qadr Atman, a Palestinian prisoner, died in the jail after 87 days hunger strike. There are 1,400 Palestinian prisoners in Al-Naqab, one of the largest jails of Israel. Lastly, we go to Zambia, comrades, African country. For years, Zambia has been stuck, diverting 50% of its public funds to service its foreign debts. These debts are themselves a legacy of colonialism, as Thomas Sankara said in a 1987 speech at the Organization for African Unity. Most of the Zambian people live in poverty, with high rates of hunger and stunted growth of children. 70% of Zambia's loans are from Western institutes, only 30% from China. For 500 years, Africa was under colonialism. Even after African countries got liberated, MNCs like BlackRock of United States exploit wealth of the mines of Africa by paying slavery wages. On 14th August, US-based organizations rallied in front of the BlackRock World Headquarters in New York City to demand that massive investment company cancel 22 crore US dollars it holds in Zambia's external debt. Organizations that participated in the action include the Act Now to Stop War and End Racism, Answer Coalition, the People's Forum, Friends of the Congo, etc. BlackRock company refuses to even reduce the interest. Many African countries, though got freedom, they are still subjected to economic domination by multinational corporations. Socialism is the only alternative. Lal Salam, comrades. See you next week. Thank you.